Previously on Joe with Joe.
Joe, we'll have to do another episode on that. You're out of time.
What do you mean I'm out of time? This is YouTube. Do as long as we want.
Joe, I like to keep my videos under 5 minutes. We're already up to 15.
Oh. Well, what am I going to do about all this?
Joe, do you realize how much time it'll take to explain each and every one of these cars?
Yeah, you're right. I don't think you have enough.
Do what?
Hi guys, welcome back to Joe with Joe. I'm Joe, this is my Joe, and this is Little Joe. After looking at Chris's layout and the sheer lack of his rolling stock, variety of rolling stock, I think it's time we take a road trip. So we're going to go to Chris's dad's house, George. He's got a wide variety of rolling stock and a ton of knowledge as to what the stock is used for. So grab yourself a cup of Joe and a travel mug and hop on, right here on the Mill Run in Western Maryland. Let's go. We're going to Chris's dad's house. George, he recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, but he has come in possession of a pretty significant stash of a friend of his who happens to have Parkinson's disease. Come across his layout and a bunch of his stuff. And so George is now in possession of a ton of different types of rolling stock. It's pretty cool, at least, for us, that we get to feature his layout and a lot of his collection and stuff. This whole episode is really dedicated to him. It just makes us happy. We like to see old styles, old stuff, old collections and stuff, and just to see the history behind everything, to hear the history behind it, and it's probably, to me, it's just as fun as getting something brand new. Because who knows, who knows what history is behind things. It's just, to me, that's exciting. Of our trip. He lives quite a distance away. We're returning onto one of the final roads of this legs of this adventure. Still got a good ways to go.
Locked.
It's locked. guys, we're here. George's layout is pretty cool. So let's just go ahead and get started on this thing. It's important to know what rolling stock goes for what industry so that you can know what you want to do for your layout. So let's get started. All right, George, so what's this one for?
That's a tank car. Various sizes of them. We used to hold anything petroleum products, chemicals, cold products, heated tank cars, asphalt, pretty much anything. Pressurized tank cars.
Okay. All right, so what kind of industry would it would be more lean toward?
Probably chemical plants,
Chemical plants?
that particular car.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about this one?
The other refrigerator car, most notably the famous Pacific Fruit Express. They were used to ship produce, meat across country. Some of them had mechanical refrigeration, some of them you stopped every so often to shove blocks of ice on the top of them.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. You hear about these kind of things in school from back in the old days, how America really got food across the country. Oh, that's a familiar sight.
Yeah, the Georges Creek Central Interchange is a mill run in Western Maryland frequently.
That explains that. So explain this one.
That was the hopper car. Used to haul coal, gravel, ore, different specific cars for that. You can use them around. Well, if you got coal mines, you definitely need them. They through freights from coal mines heading east or west or however your railroad set up. Those specific cars were that this railroad and mill run in Western Maryland had belonged to a good friend of mine off his layout.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about on the way over. I'm glad we're able to see some of the stuff still in works. All right. What about this one?
Boxcar. Used to haul a variety of things. Probably can't name it all off. Lumber, any kind of merchandise you want to keep inside, keep it dry.
Out of the
protect
weather.
from the weather. I've even seen them haul lumber around.
So you can reasonably use this for any industry.
If you have a railroad, you gotta have boxcars.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you see your real life, you usually always see box cars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. What about this one?
Well, this one could be called one of two. The part of the country I grew up in and the railroaders I grew up around, they called them gondolas. So you can call them a gondola or a gondola.
Okay.
You haul pipe, gravel, coal, just about anything that you weren't worried about the weather getting on in them.
Okay.
And this one in particular was off of my friend's first HO train set.
Oh wow.
So it's back in it's in the 60s.
Yeah, it's got some age to it. Looks
Yeah,
like. Looks like.
His stuff's sentimental to me.
All right. What about this?
Be a trailer on a flat car is what I call it.
Wouldn't that also be called a piggyback car?
Piggyback. Using to haul semi-trailers was a big thing when I was a kid. But railroads haul them 60s, 70s, 80s.
Okay.
Whole trains of them. Kind of the predecessors of the day's intermodals. But car itself, flat car with designed to haul the road trailers.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I always thought that the road trailers, especially the ribbed ones like that, were just kind of, I don't know, interchanged easily. I didn't know they were actually hauled like this.
I always thought it was neat the railroads own road trailers.
That is pretty neat. All right, what about this one?
covered hopper. Come in various shapes, sizes, lengths. Use all sand, fertilizer, lime, plastic pellets, feed, anything you wanted to keep dry. Load them from the top and unload them from the bottom in the hopper chute.
Okay, so it's gravity fed.
Gravity
Okay.
feed, hook a hole on. Some of them's round cylinder, what they call round cylinder type covered hoppers.
Okay. And what about this one?
Railroad company built pop-put car. Basically what it used to call pop-put on, loaded sideways.
Kind of type of industries would you see this in typically?
Most notably on the mill, even the mill run western Maryland and the Georgia Creek Central big paper mill.
Okay. Pretty simple design, but you know you have a lot of rolling stock when you're digging through a box to find a specific car. You know you have, but you can't find it. You've got too much. You know, I just had to ask George. What about this?
Caboose. I'm not sure what style that is, but they came in all different versions, colors, designs. In the day up through about the early 80s, I think, they part of the crew rode in there. The conductor rode in there, rear end brakeman, rear end flagman, to oversee the train. They'd set up on the cupola up there, or a bay window to look out the side and watch the progress of the train from the back. Look for any defects, problems.
Okay. I always just thought it was kind of like hey, extra passengers or something. But
Before they cut the crews, even on the diesels, you had the engineer, fireman, and head in brakeman. Like, the train crews are like 5 or 6 people back in the day.
oh yeah, it makes a ton of sense to now I'm thinking about it for crew quarters. So I think this one kind of explains itself, but I'm gonna ask anyways. What about this one?
Haul anything you want to, logs, pipe, lumber, machinery. Got desperate, you can put sides on, haul gravel,
All
haul
right.
anything on.
Sounds about right. Wow, that was a lot of good information. I want to thank George for the use of his layout and the information he's given us. It was kind of fun to feature a friend of his collection, model collection. A lot of his stuff. That was fun to see. A lot of that stuff still actually being used and played with. I guess that's about all we have time for in this episode. You guys have any other information or any other things we may have missed, stories, put it in the comment section below. We'd love to hear about it. While you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Well, until next time, remember, don't forget, most important rule of model railroad: have fun. See you next time. You can see here and past episodes,
Oh crap.
the train stopped. As you can see here, it's obvious that it stopped at the black Bachman track, so don't ever buy it. No. It'd be funny if you did that. Well, I guess that's it then.